Let's keep this short and simple, folks. These are the 3 steps that you need to improve your confidence. Step number 1 is stop outsourcing your identity. You're not lacking confidence because you don't know how to be confident. You're lacking confidence because you're constantly looking outside yourself for external validation to prove that whatever you're doing is correct. Now, growing up through school, through different aspects of your life, it's very common. Let's say you go to a pub. Everyone's drinking at the pub. You are inclined to drink, or at least in your early stages of your social life. As you get older, you might feel comfortable to not do that, because more and more people are not doing that as time goes on. But the truth is, you've always found it hard to kind of go against the grain, even if you felt like at moments you want to. I've had clients myself that have said, dude, it's hard to go to parties and not drink. Or it's hard to actually say no to going to events and just to go to the gym. Or I go to the gym, but it's hard to do athletic functional movement rather than the typical bodybuilding machine stuff. There are so many things that people want to do that they don't get to do because they're looking at other people for validation. The truth is, 1, people aren't looking at you, nor do they care. And the people that do care are just not focused on their own lives enough. But the truth is, most people don't care, and the only difference between you and the guy who's happy to do the stuff is he's just going to go ahead and do it. He's not thinking about all these other people because he thinks he's correct. Now let's apply this to cold approach, for example, right? Say you want to meet a girl, you see her on the street, she's cute, she's beautiful, and you want to go say hi. The thing that goes through your head is, oh, well, what if it's weird to go and say hi? What if she rejects me? What if it looks weird to other people? The same thought goes through another man's head who's more confident, let's say like myself, and I would think, or I would now think, I used to be like that, but I would now think, I'm going to go and make her day by giving her a compliment. That is the best thing that can happen. I'm going to go and make her day and make her feel even better. There's no rejection. It's simply seeing if someone's a match. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. And that's life. There's nothing wrong to it. There's nothing bad to it. And that's the only difference. And then I would go ahead and do that interaction. Some of them, they go forward and some of them they don't, but that's fine. But the other person is too scared to even try because he's thinking, well, what do other people think? That's why people find it easier to approach when they're with their friends, when they're with other people that are doing the same thing. It's also the same reason why people watch Instagram content and they see someone else do something first and then they feel more comfortable to do it. At the end of the day, there can only be so many leaders in the world, and I think you could be one, or at least the leader of your life. Step number 2 is to build evidence that you can trust yourself. Confidence isn't something that you think of. Confidence is the result of your actions. So you must first do the work to then feel confident all the time. Look at my page, for example. Let's just take cold approach as just one facet of my whole life, right? I did not feel comfortable at the beginning to approach, nor did I feel comfortable to go to the gym, nor did I feel comfortable studying all the time, or when I initially got to a fighting gym, or whatever it is. But I knew that I'm going to have growth in these aspects of my life if I stick at them. So I did. And I started to do it. I didn't judge myself too much. I just started to do it. And as I did it, I was like, oh, okay. Well, I know that I can at least approach one person. It's not that hard. Or I can at least say hi. And that lower bound, that lower level of what I at least could do got higher and higher. And if you ask me today, I know that I feel comfortable to go speak to whoever I want. Because it's not the craziest thing I've done. I've done public speaking, I've done more, so the lower bound is really increased, and I feel confident because I've been in that situation so many times before. One of my clients currently, he's a software engineer in San Francisco, and he's working on his cold approach skills. He challenged me that he thinks he could do 20 approaches in under 2 hours. I thought that was insane. Or maybe it was, 10 approaches in under 2 hours. I thought that's insane. Well done. I'm excited to see this. He in fact did not reach that goal. He only ended up doing 1 or 2. That being said, he was not capable to do the 1 or 2 before. He also would not have set out that challenge for himself before, but he's gone from 0 to comfortably 1 or 2. And I know he has the capability to push to 5, 6, 7. It's just a little bit more time. And also him actually doing the thing to then unlock the realization that he can. And that realization, that's confidence. That's your sweet spot. So to become confident, you must actually do the task enough number of times to think you can do it again. It's as simple as that. And step 3, and honestly it links to the last one, is acting before you feel confident. So that first time, now you know that you need to do the actions, that first time is not going to be easy, or often won't be easy. Just because it may not be easy doesn't mean you don't do it. If you absolutely want to get to that end goal, right? Whatever that is in your life. If you want that job and you know you need to network the hell out of a room. If you want to find a girlfriend and you know you're only going to do it by approaching, you're not going to use dating apps, whatever. If you know what your goal is, then you know you must take the steps to get there. And if you must take the steps, then you must take the first step. You must act regardless of how you feel, and you must just go and say hi. You have to foster the courage to actually do it. That's the best way to explain it. I promise you, it's not as hard as you think. What goes up here What goes on in here is a lot worse than what happens in real life. And I consistently post videos to prove this. I consistently show myself or other guys that I've coached approach, and they have all these mental thoughts just like I did, but in reality, it's never that bad. So I encourage you to go take that next step, whether that's your first approach or your 100th approach or stepping things up in your relationship. I encourage you to do that. Fail fast, fail hard, because that's the way you're going to learn the most in life. I go into these topics, not just confidence, not just cold approach, but everything: physique, life, dating, everything I go over in the Sanat Method. If you want to learn more about it, then watch this link that I'm going to attach right here so you can learn everything about it, and then you can book in a call if you feel like you're ready to join us. It's an application process. We don't accept everyone. We only work with a handful of individuals, but we really transform them to have the best life possible. I will see you on the next video on Instagram, or maybe I'll see you on a call.